Right, let's get horny.
Please don't say that.
No.
Have we started? Have we opened yet? Is this
I
us?
mean, if you want me to open up with "Let's get horny,"
Hey guys,
then...
let's get horny. After being awoken by a sound, I open my eyes with a measure of reluctance, probably because Julian's getting horny.
I'm not getting horny. Lord forgive me.
Well, you said it. Turning my head to the left, I find the rain outside sweeps against the windows loudly. Spray after wind-blown spray lashes against the glass, as if trying its hardest to make up for the summer's previous heat. I sit up in the futon, holding the back of my neck to try and subdue the pain from my awkward sleeping position.
Uh-huh.
By all accounts, I should be lamenting the turn in the weather, given that this is our last day here. The events of yesterday refuse to stop flooding my mind, though. Yeah, it's hard to forget something like that.
Yeah.
Dragging on the couch, you know?
Yeah, you
Never forget your first time. The feeling of holding Lily's crying body in my arms. Oh God, why was she crying? I don't remember. Oh, the rush of lust and hormones that flowed through us as we spent the night together. It seems almost futile to try and rationalize everything that happened.
Actually,
I don't know, I'm going to try and rationalize why she was crying.
I'm just going to turn down your volume just a little bit. Because you were a bit loud there. It's okay.
A little bit further away from the mic.
Yeah, no, you're good now. It was my bad. Right.
Oh, okay. In an attempt to distract myself, I groan and lean over to retrieve my bag without standing. Pulling out one bottle after another, I take the daily regimen's worth of pills from their containers and swallow them without further ado.
Okay.
Took a surprisingly short amount of time to get used to swallowing pills without water. That said, I suppose the same thing goes for getting used to living in a school for disabled students. Remembering Yamaku, I become all the more grateful for having the chance to get away, even if it's just for the shortest of times. I appreciate the chance to spend time alone with Lilly and Hanako, away from the bustle of school life, even considering the latest complications. I never thought I'd say it, but the idea of living away from the city in a nice, tranquil area is an inviting one. It's a thought that, barely a year ago, would have seemed simply ludicrous.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've got to say, even though I don't really live in a city, do I? I kind of, it's like the suburbs.
You're like that halfway point.
Yeah. But to be perfectly honest, I would love to go even further away. You know, Scotland is like the best place. Like Scotland, apart from maybe somewhere like the American Midwest or Canada, it's pretty good for finding places that are just isolated. You know.
Well, it helps that most of the country's not really like built up that much, you know.
Yeah, that also helps. There's a lot of nature, even in cities.
Even in cities, like there's a bit of farmland, but most of it's just like hills and forests and stuff. A flash of pink, no doubt Hanako's gown, peeks from around the corner. Realizing I must look at sight since I've only just woken up, I slap the remaining pills into my mouth and run a hand through my hair.
Good morning, Hisao. Did you get
Christ,
some fuck?
Good. I reply to her, completely forgetting that I'm in the middle of swallowing a particularly large pill. Coughing and spluttering, I violently gag on it.
Is that also a literary device for something? A large pill?
Maybe.
Hisao.
It's a big pill to swallow. After sputtering loudly and tapping my chest a couple of times to force it down, I managed to recover. I'm fine. Sorry. Forgot I was swallowing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I hold my hand up, gesturing for Hanako to stop. I gagged. It's my fault. Morning, Hanako. She pauses a moment before bowing in reply.
Those pajamas.
Those pajamas. Walking. No. Staggering in behind Hanako is the familiar figure of Lilly, also dressed in her pajamas. With her eyes full of sleep and her hair bedraggled, she's a sight to behold.
Hell yeah.
Hi, Lilly.
Good morning, Hisao.
For a while, a silence hangs in the air as neither of us knows what to do. Given what happened last night, we both have more than enough reason to be finding the situation awkward. Just how are we meant to react to meeting each other after something like that?
Oh, it gets easier, Hisao, don't worry.
It gets a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. The best course of action would probably be to talk to Lily alone, to set things in order. I'll start making breakfast. Lily evidently catches onto my train of thought.
I'll help. Hanako, could you set the table?
She nods, her head disappearing into a cupboard as she quickly goes about her assigned task. I rub a little more wander over to the fridge and take out some milk, as Lily grabs variously brightly coloured boxes from some of the lower cupboards to my side. While we make the rather bland-looking meal, I whisper somewhat more quietly than usual. Knowing Lily's hearing, she won't have any trouble catching what I say. Are you okay, Lily? After last night? She gives a delicate nod, her expression weak.
Arms are heavy.
Yep, vomit on sweater already. Though her tiredness surely plays a part, she seems genuinely unsure about what's happened between us and how to move ahead. I can't say I blame her, considering my feelings are the same.
Guys, like, you've hardly known each other and you've already banged. I mean, sorry, this is adult Julian here, stepping in. Like, at least give yourself like a 6-month window or something.
Where do we go from here?
I don't know.
Feel this!
Like, genuinely, like, as somebody, maybe this is just me, but
Show me the bedroom
I
door.
I would never do it on the first date or the third date.
It's not really the first date, though. I mean, they've known each other.
How long have they actually known each other?
I think this is supposed to be like... he spent all the winter in hospital, right?
Yeah. Is this not winter again? No.
I don't think so, because they were talking about how hot the weather was. I mean, it was like
okay.
either like late spring or early
right,
summer.
I'll let them off. I'll let them off the hook. Fair enough. I'm sorry, Hisao. I wasn't thinking straight yesterday. Oh. Okay. I never stopped to consider you or Hanako, and I even went as far as... Did you take the morning after pill?
She's winding herself up. Oh, maybe. With her hands and voice both tightening, I give her a gentle bump to try and lighten up the situation.
You don't have to apologize. I said I liked you as well, after all.
You didn't just say you liked her. You told each other you loved each other.
Yeah, man, you confessed.
Yeah, you straight up, like... You know, but
As her composure begins to falter, it becomes obvious there's no alternative. Turning to Lily, I gently embrace her tall frame. She offers no resistance at all, thankfully pulling back just from the edge of her emotions.
Oh.
Despite our reassuring embrace lasting only a matter of seconds, I notice Hanako wordlessly watching. The plate in her hand hovers inches above the table, her action halted midway by the sight.
Oh, I hope we don't alienate Hanako. That ain't gonna be good.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, is it?
No.
The clatter of utensils against plates is the only sound to be heard as we silently eat. Whereas before only two of us may have been unsure of ourselves, the entire situation's changed. After weeks of blissful friendship, whiling away the days with shared meals and chatter with little meaning, the relationship of Lily and me, no, that of all of us, has irreversibly changed. I can't take this.
Lily.
She solemnly nods, gently laying her spoon onto the plate in front of her. Neither of us knows exactly how we regard each other, let alone how Hanako would view us.
This might seem abrupt, but I've confessed to Hisao.
For a moment, Hanako looks almost confused. Precisely the reaction I'd thought she would have. She eventually nods, her spoon still in her mouth. She does. Sorry, that's quite a funny image.
Yeah, it is quite funny. Did you accept?
I did?
Cha!
Yeah, yeah.
She gives a smile so large and so earnest,
Oh,
I find myself blushing. I think it's the brightest
yay!
I've ever seen her expression look.
Yay! Hanako
She's
is
happy
just.
because her friends are banging.
she, she... Have
My
you
new
ever been in that
and my
situation?
best friends are banging.
Have you ever
No, no, I don't think
had two
like so
friends and
specifically.
then you've become happy because they're banging?
Nah, not really. Um,
Maybe it's a guy. Maybe it's just because we're guys. Maybe girls are different. And they're like,
maybe I don't know.
hell yeah,
I
you
mean,
go get that
when our good friend
that
Alex
dick.
um started dating his high school girlfriend,
Uh huh.
I was pretty happy for him then, but that was because
Yeah.
that they only got around to doing that by like end of fourth year, start of fifth year, and they'd been flirting with each other since day one of first year. So I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay, fair enough.
yeah, yeah,
Fair
that's the
enough.
only one. That's the only situation I can think of.
Yeah, I can't think of
Oh,
any.
but in fact, I had to then console one of her other friends who was also into her, but not not really. I think, as it turned out.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember
Yeah,
that.
you remember that? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
of course.
yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
good times.
Anyway,
Anyway,
good times.
yeah,
I've read this. There you go.
yeah. Then I'm happy. I'm really, really happy you guys are banging. I'm sorry for not telling you anything about it before. Things have been.
Hanako shakes her head from side to side emphatically, apparently forgetting in her rush that Lily couldn't possibly notice. That's true.
Yeah.
She begins fiddling with her fingers, looking a little more nervous than she did before.
To be honest, I began to think you might like each other a while ago. At first, I didn't really know what to think about it, but I decided in the end that if my friends are happy, then I'm happy.
A good attitude to have.
Just watching from the sidelines.
Oh my god. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, that was awful. Julian, give me a good old telling off. Yeah, I deserve that. Yep, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
I was really glad to have another friend when we met Hisao, so you finding love through him is even better, right?
Little does she know that literally one decision could have changed this entire story.
We
And
could
we
have
could
gone
have
to the
wound up
library.
going to the library and falling in love with her. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's probably for the best she doesn't know that. A feeling of relief at her acceptance of our relationship falls over me like a wave. The same happens to Lily, judging by her expression.
Thank you, Hanako. I really appreciate you being so understanding.
Mm-hmm. Lily's voice still sounds slightly apologetic, or at least unsure. This doesn't escape Hanako, who appears lost in thought for a few moments before turning to me.
Hisao, do you mind if Lily and I go outside for a bit?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
No. Feel free.
Hanako?
Uh-oh, secret girl time.
Oh, secret girl
Hanako
time.
gets up from her seat, taking Lily's hand and almost dragging her from the table in her
Yeah.
excitement.
Do you have a picture of his
Yep.
dick?
Oh, Julian. Okay, I could just. Okay. How big?
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
It's a pretty amusing sight, leaving me wordless
Yeah,
as I
it
watch
sounds
this
dick.
appear in this sight. Yeah. It's only now that I realise the rain stopped, being replaced by a sky seemingly all the more vivid and bright to make up for the morning's drab grey expanse. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it rains in the morning, but it's a beautiful afternoon. For Hanako, this must be a pretty big revelation. Lily and I are really the only people she associates with, almost as if we were parents in her own stead. Oh. I suppose that might well be the best way to describe the relationship we share. A father, mother, and daughter, all playing around in our little make-believe family as if it could last forever. Oh.
Oh.
It might be a strange dynamic and one that certainly can't last for long. But maybe, just for this one small moment, it's okay.
Hmm.
Pardon me, I had to burp.
That's
As I
okay.
stand from the table and go to join Lilly and Hanako in the fields outside, I nod to myself in affirmation. Hang on a minute, why is he going to join them outside? She just wanted to have a word in private. Don't go ruin
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Storming over
Oh.
like,
Yeah, you guys talking about me?
You guys talking
Yes,
about my dick? Let me see. I want to join in.
You guys talking about the fact we banged?
this
It's
one
pretty-
small moment of happiness.
Pretty lit, dude.
No matter how brief, will last with me, with all of us, forever.
Uh,
Yeah.
Uh,
The feeling of happiness of playing this game for the first time definitely stuck with me for a long time. Submerged deep in the hot water, I let a drawn-out sigh escape my lips.
ooh.
The feeling of seemingly every muscle in my body relaxing is euphoric. Oh, get ready for titties. Editor Julian, prepare. Get ready
Oh,
for titties.
don't worry. He is prepared, as you know already.
Because there's not just a spider in the bath. I have no idea how long it's been since I had a genuine hot bath, but right now I can hardly be bothered trying to remember. Maybe I'm giving the simple fact that for once I get to have a real bath more credit than it's due. The chance to just calm down, allow myself to unwind, and have some time to myself is a welcome one. Hanako, Lilly, and I wandered about outside, exploring the extent of the surprisingly large tract of land around the house. And then we spent the majority of the afternoon resting, watching television, reading, and playing cards.
Hell yeah.
It may not have been the most exciting finale to the trip, but such tranquil peacefulness is something to savour. Even after we return to the school tomorrow, I think I'll remember this little house in Hokkaido for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I like to just relax and see on the last day of a holiday. I don't like to rush
Absolutely, yeah.
around doing stuff. I like to just be like, I'm just going to
Trying to,
enjoy
like,
being
Gather
here,
as much as you can. Yeah,
being
yeah,
present, you know?
Yeah. There was a point when I was in Prague last year. Not last year, because it's now 2021, year before. There was a point where like I was basically getting a flight by myself. Like I was the only one going home at that point.
Right.
And everyone else had either made other plans or had already left, as in all the people that I knew. So I was just wandering about by myself. And it was quite sad because there was this overbearing sense of, oh my god, I'm going to have to leave this beautiful, beautiful city. But also it meant that I could just do what I wanted, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I went up and sat in a big park in Prague that's so beautiful. There used to be a very large statue of Stalin in said park, but they took it down, and now there's a giant metronome instead.
Rightly so.
Rightly so. But it's a beautiful, beautiful park. So I spent most of my last day there. In fact, on my Instagram, there's a photograph of said metronome.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a little story for you from John.
Yeah, I didn't do something as wonderful and as picturesque as that. Usually I just, it always tends to be the last day of a holiday that I go to, that I'm on, the weather's usually quite crap, so I end up just sort of staying inside and just lounging about. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is nice. You know, if I'm in a hotel, I'll get room service.
Big spender.
You know, it's fancy. Well,
It is fancy.
I mean, room service in hotels in the rest of Europe is insanely cheap. It just is. Like, I was amazed at the cheapness of beer in Malta. It's like €1.50
It's
for
crazy.
really good beer. Anyway, let's
Like,
not talk
unless
about
you're in-
beer. We're
let's not get
delaying
into
the
it.
anime titties.
Yeah. I know. Delaying the fun.
Maybe we should just delay the fun every time.
Maybe we should
But
delay
they're
the
going to be
fun,
seeing
yeah.
any of it because they can't.
Feel like
Because
there's tits on the
YouTube
way, so we're gonna
is-
talk for half an hour.
YouTube is draconian. It's, you know,
Ah,
it's pure
I mean,
puritanical YouTube, right?
you don't want some Wayne who's trying to watch PewDiePie play Minecraft to wander onto a video full of anime.
Which,
titties,
by
do
the
you?
way, if you haven't seen his Minecraft series, it's possibly the
I mean, it's
greatest thing he's
fantastic.
ever
Like,
made.
hey, you know, no shame on PewDiePie at all.
Yeah,
Dude's a legend.
of course.
Whatever, but you know, all I'm saying is that you don't want some Wayne tripping onto your titties.
Yeah.
Anyway, It's a pity we only have a couple more hours to spend here before going to get the train back. Excuse me. All I can do is yawn contentedly while I watch the steam slowly rise from the clear water's placid surface, my eyes eventually locking onto the ceiling. Our exams are imminent. I've barely studied at all for them.
Oh, mate,
Uh-oh.
you're not going to be studying at all.
No. On top of that,
Unless you
I don't
get
even
some
know
of
what
that
I'll do
horny
after
beacon spray.
graduation. Yeah,
Yeah.
passing exams is all well and good, but to what end? Yeah, if you're horny, you can't study. Simple. Also, now, of all times, I'm getting into a relationship.
There's never a good time to get into a relationship.
No, arguably not.
No. Just like there's never a good time to have a child, or a dog,
Or move house.
or move house. It's just never a good time.
What the hell am I doing?
I guess I shouldn't think like that. What's done is done, and maybe this could be viewed as just another aspect of my new life that I'm working on. It's a very stoic approach. Nice. I enjoy being with Lily, and there's more to life than school and a career after all. That's
Yeah,
also
actually,
true.
yeah, you're right.
As I busily attempt to rationalize all that's happened, I hear a series of raps on the door. I pick myself up and sit upright, trying to figure out the source. Well, it's probably the door. They... 3, no more and no less. Light yet assertive in their tapping, and timed regularly enough to tune a metronome. Hey, funny that. I'd be extremely surprised if it wasn't Lily.
You don't need to tune a metronome, but that's cool. May I come in?
Yeah, it's Lily.
I'm still in the bath. I'll be out in a sec.
I know.
The voice coming from the other side of the door freezes me. After a second's thought, I rest on the side of the bath and let my arms dangle over the side. Despite trying my best to play it off, I can't help letting my mind wander.
Sure. Come in.
Da-da-da-da. With that, she opens the door, slowly walking into the room and closing it behind her. She looks oddly calm, countering my racing heart. You need to be careful with that heart, Hisao.
Yeah, dude. It's a good thing you're in relaxing hot water.
Absolutely. Well, it's not going to be very relaxing for long.
Hey, Lily.
Do you mind if
She's
I
just
take a
so
bath with you?
Oh, out front. Just very direct. That's why I like Lily, because she's very straight to the point.
Hey, can I come in? Hey, wanna
Hey,
fuck?
man, can I get some of that bath? Can I get in on some of that bath?
Can I get in on some of that Gamer Boy bathwater?
I don't mind. Go ahead.
With a small nod, she begins to lift her sweater off her shoulders, baring her chest little by little.
I could do that for you, if you like.
Refused.
Why?
Silence. Her face shows she's still not overly comfortable with letting me attend to her. I can't say I blame her.
Hey, maybe she's wanting to do a little of the da-na-na-na, you know, like
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Alluring! She
Yeah,
continues
man.
undressing, her shirt and skirt falling to the floor and leaving her in her white lace bra and panties. Eventually, she stands bare in the center of the room.
Ah, this familiar sight.
Ah, yes. Compared to the last time, it's a lot easier to take in her entire figure. It's a wonderful sight.
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
it's pretty.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
She's 18. We can say that. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hisao,
Hmm?
you're thinking. You're thinking preverted thoughts, aren't you?
Give me a break. You're undressing in front of me.
She furrows her brow in thought.
A stunner.
I mean, I was about to say she can really see your stoner, but no, she can't.
No. I guess this would be somewhat more erotic for you than me.
Sure. Why? Ah,
Yeah, penny drops. She gives a small, light-hearted chuckle, which seems to settle her nerves a little.
If this is too much for you, Hisao, I can come back later.
No, why waste it?
no,
Yeah.
no, this is fine. I'm just a bit. Well, you're really beautiful, you know?
Oh, she is. My earnest comment draws a vivid red blush from Lilly.
Hisao.
I give a small grin. She's cute when she's taken off guard.
Cheers.
She is.
In any case, may I come in?
Sure.
The water's lovely.
Ooh.
I lean forward and take her soft hands in mine, helping her over the side of the bath. She feels out the side of the bathtub, then slowly lowers herself in, my breath catching when she sits and leans her back onto my front, her legs inside mine. I'd expected her to sit at the other end. What, like your Wayne's? Like you're actually gonna share a bath? One on the other end, like, hey man, pass the soap. Like, what? No, what did you think was gonna happen? It's bath shagging, baby. Letting out a long breath to calm myself, I rest my arms on the sides of the bath as I struggle to control my urges.
But what your urges to play with our memories, you freak.
I think his urges is like his, what was it?
Loch
What was
Ness
the
Monster.
euphemism he used for coming? No. doesn't
Remember?
matter. Far from, yeah, something like that maybe. Far from missing this sight of her assets, the feeling of her body against mine is surprisingly relaxing. If Lily's so sensitive to touch, it must be all the more so for her. She's probably on fire. Well,
you
yeah,
run
now
your
we know
bath
she is.
quite hot, don't you?
Ben, do you want me to run some cold water to cool it down a bit?
She gives a small shake of her head.
No, this is fine.
Sweet.
Okay.
The conversation comes to an abrupt end. Silence taking over. Yeah, it's going to be splishy splashing in a minute. A very long
Really?
and very awkward silence.
Maybe this was a bit too...
Don't worry, it's okay.
The situation only becomes even more awkward. As if to distract herself, Lily runs her free hand over her legs while holding one over her breasts for modesty. I sit idly watching the wall ahead of me in the rising steam, every now and again stealing a glimpse at her body. Prevert. The white of her skin glistens as she keeps sliding her hand over her legs, their length and tone all the more obvious.
You know,
Hang on. I haven't even said it yet and I've got a problem with this sentence.
you know, compared to Akira, you look a lot more foreign.
What is that
I
to
took
say to
after my
somebody?
mother's side, genetically. Akira took after my father's more. I'm guessing
There's a
that...
better way to put that.
Well...
Surely?
You look more European than your sister. Yeah, probably. Would be...
I mean, maybe.
I guess that makes sense. How on earth did a native Scot and a Japanese businessman meet, anyway?
Sounds like a
Whiskey?
joke. Yeah, probably.
Oh,
In
well...
fact, that's how.
oh,
there's a
she's from
whiskey that was
Inverness.
made like that.
Okay. Inverness.
Ah,
Fair enough.
nice.
My mother was a journalist. She met my father while he was at a conference in Inverness.
Ah, I see. Taking after your Scottish side would also explain your height, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose she's...
I
I
guess.
mean, let's be real here. Scottish people aren't that tall.
No, they're not that tall, but I
No,
suppose in the
but
ground,
compared
like,
to Japanese
comparatively.
people, yeah.
Yeah, who also aren't that tall. I look
Yeah.
back down at her as she nods, and sigh at the ridiculousness of the situation.
This really is too much, isn't it?
You're enjoying it though, aren't you? You prevert.
Yeah, well, revert.
In some ways, yeah. I guess things turned out okay in the end. Everything settled down. Hanako took our relationship well, and we'll be going back to school tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Indeed.
Hell yeah.
It's a shame to be going back so soon, but we'll still have our memories of this place.
Memories, huh? I suppose so. We'll just have to see how everything goes once we get back. But for now, I'm just glad you like me.
Yeah, man.
More than
Fair
that,
enough.
but-
And you know what? we'll carry on with Splish Splash. We're taking a bath.
Taking a bath.
We'll carry on in the next episode. Like, subscribe, do the thing. I'm sorry I can't.
Yup.
I mean, play the game for yourself. You dang preverts if you want to see anime titties that much.
Yeah. Prevert.
And to be fair, most of this is quite tasteful. It's quite nice. So,
That's true.
We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
See ya.
Part-timers, we do this part-time. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe.